Your 20s are basically a financial minefield. You watch people around you lease cars they absolutely cannot afford, pile on student debt chasing degrees that lead nowhere meaningful, and somehow convince themselves that daily cafe lattes are a perfectly reasonable lifestyle choice. Meanwhile, you're probably asking yourself whether you should be doing something smarter with your money, or whether you're just destined to become someone who complains about being broke while placing yet another food delivery order. Here's something worth sitting with. The financial choices you make in your 20s will determine whether your 30s are spent accumulating real wealth or grinding through the same paycheck-to-paycheck cycle on repeat. Most people completely reverse the order. They treat their 20s as the decade to spend freely and plan to get serious later. That's the equivalent of deciding to train for a marathon the morning of the race. My name is Mr. Invest, and I've spent a significant amount of time studying why certain people break free from financial mediocrity while others remain trapped in it their entire lives. If you're exhausted watching your bank balance hover around the same discouraging number every month, subscribe and hit that like button, because today we're covering the 7 purchases that can genuinely redirect the course of your financial life. Before we jump in, let me be upfront. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and nothing here is formal financial advice. These are patterns I've observed in people who've built genuine financial independence, combined with lessons from my own wins and losses along the way. The reality is simple. Small, smart decisions made early create enormous results later. $150 invested wisely at 24 turns into something remarkable by 55. That same amount spent on something that loses value the moment you buy it becomes nothing but a distant memory and possibly some lingering regret. Purchase 1. Invest in a side hustle. A side hustle isn't free to start properly. That's the part people miss. Equipment, a website, tools, courses, these things cost money up front. But in your 20s, before mortgages and children and major obligations, you have an incredible window to experiment. If something fails, you recover fast. If it succeeds, it can change everything. The key is to build on what you're already good at, rather than chasing whatever trend promises quick money online. Match your investment to your genuine strengths. Purchase 2. Index funds through a tax-advantaged account. This is where time becomes your most powerful asset. If you invest just $175 per month into an S&P 500 index fund beginning at 23, growing at the historical average of roughly 10% annually, you're looking at close to $1 million by retirement. Wait until 33 to begin, and you might end up with $650,000 instead. That 10-year delay costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars, not because you spent it, but because you never let it grow. Index funds are the dependable, unglamorous engine of long-term wealth. Low fees, broad diversification, and consistent performance. Automate your contributions so the money moves before you ever see it in your checking account. Purchase 3. A plane ticket. Spent strategically. This isn't permission to drain your savings chasing Instagram-worthy moments. This is about investing in perspective and real-world connections. Navigating unfamiliar cities, solving problems in foreign environments, and communicating across language barriers builds a level of confidence and adaptability that benefits you professionally and personally for decades. The smart method: get a travel rewards credit card, run your normal expenses through it, and pay it completely off every single month. Collect the points, travel affordably, build your credit score, and expand your worldview all at once. Purchase 4. Education that actually pays off. Not a $90,000 degree that leaves you in debt, a $25 book, a few $100s on a legitimate course from someone who has actually built something real. Your brain is at peak adaptability in your 20s. Take full advantage. Sales, coding, digital marketing, skilled trades, every competency you develop becomes a permanent part of your earning power. Just avoid the overpriced courses from people who seem more interested in filming themselves near luxury cars than in teaching anything useful.
Purchase 5. Real estate. Yes, even in your 20s, the concept of house hacking makes this more accessible than most people realize. Buy a duplex, live in one side, rent the other, and let your tenant partially cover your mortgage. Or purchase a home and rent out rooms to cover costs. Real estate builds wealth through appreciation, rental income, and leverage simultaneously. It's more hands-on than an index fund, but the long-term payoff can be extraordinary. Purchase 6. Cheap, reliable transportation. Not a car, transportation. There's a meaningful difference. Financing a $32,000 vehicle in your 20s isn't a lifestyle upgrade, it's a wealth killer. Cars depreciate the moment you drive them off the lot. Buy a 3 to 5-year-old reliable sedan, a Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, something proven, for $10,000 to $14,000. Pay cash if possible, or finance it short-term. If you skip a $450 monthly car payment and invest that amount instead at 8% returns over 30 years, you're looking at well over $500,000 in the difference. That's not just money saved, that's freedom purchased. Purchase 7. Your health. Everything else on this list depends on your physical and mental energy. Not expensive gym memberships necessarily, just the fundamentals that people in their 20s consistently neglect because they feel invincible. Real food, consistent sleep, regular movement. Poor health doesn't just create medical bills, it creates an opportunity cost. You lose the energy to execute your side hustle, maintain your discipline with investments, and handle the demands of building something meaningful over time. Think of health spending as performance maintenance for every other goal you're pursuing. Here's what connects all 7. They all require choosing the long game over instant gratification. Every smart decision compounds. Every dollar invested grows. Every skill developed adds to your value. Every month without unnecessary payments frees up capital. The temptation is to attempt all 7 at once, burn out within weeks, and abandon everything. Instead, assess your current situation and start with 1. If debt is the problem, build income first. If income is stable but savings are 0, automate your investments immediately. Build momentum gradually and let each decision reinforce the next. Your 20s will pass regardless of what you do with them. The only real question is whether you look back from 30 with a foundation under you or wondering where the money went. Start one of these purchases today. Future you is already waiting to either say thank you or wish you had.